Your ad is showing now?
Yes. Yeah.
There's a NASCAR ad.
That's good. All they can hear, if they can hear our voices, which I'm not sure, they can't see.
Someone said there are sounds.
I don't see any ads or anything. You guys are crazy.
No, it's like
Do you see the picture? Do you see the intro picture?
Picture.
I see the picture.
They can hear us.
Hi, everybody. We're going to learn how to use Twitch now.
Let's see if that worked. I think that worked.
Comical breathing.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Games on the Rocks. We are your four Meeples who are hosting you with games and a drink. This is officially episode number 1. Last week's episode was, we'll call it 0.5. I don't know. I am one of your hosts, Stephanie Straw, and we also have Suzanne Sheldon. Suzanne, say hello and tell us what you're drinking.
Hi, everybody. Happy drinking time. I've not had much of this yet. So I know we have this awesome drink planned tonight, but I didn't have time to go out and get the ingredients. So I'm drinking my favorite drink, which is a classic old-fashioned with 3 cherries because I like them sweet. Nicole, what are you drinking?
I'm going with my old standard. It's a local cider Brickworks. It's so delicious. And Maggie, what are you drinking?
I've got a vodka soda because I couldn't get to the store to get the fancy stuff that we made as our drink this evening, and a kombucha because I saw Mike trying to drink one on Twitter earlier, and it was hilarious.
Speaking of our drink for this evening, the recipe is up here in the corner for you. I am drinking what we are calling the Steffenfeld. It's a renamed other type of cocktail. This cocktail comes from Italy, but has been adopted by Germany, so it's totally appropriate. It has 3 parts Prosecco, or just your favorite bubbly champagne-y type stuff, and 1 part elderflower liqueur. That's also the German stuff. I use Saint Germain. A splash of lemon, and then for the point salad, I have garnished it with some fresh mint. But you could use any other salad of your choice. Romaine, iceberg, whatever you want to do. So if you want to make a drink, if you happen to have these ingredients, feel free to make this drink and join us.
Why not romaine lettuce?
Throw some romaine in there, like a whole leaf. Just pop a just a whole leaf right in there.
I actually put a little splash of creme de menthe in there too to make it like extra minty. But so tonight we thought that we would talk about our favorite games. We have put together some categories of our favorite games. Let's start with something fun. Let's start with games that you never get to play. Favorite game that you never get to play. Maggie, since you're grinning, what is your favorite game that you never get to play?
Well, and this is, I guess, hyperbole because I have played a lot of it, but I never get to play Innovation. So the just old school Asmati game, Innovation, like, I love that game, but it's unfortunately way easier once you've played it a bunch of times, so you tend to crush new players and discourage them from ever playing again.
I like that.
So I like Carl Chuddick. I think I'm going to get yelled at, but I've never played Innovation, and I own 3 copies of it.
No.
Wow.
You want to get yelled at even more? I don't own it, but I have played it, and I didn't like it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people don't care for it.
It's tough. It's really tough. Like, I remember the first time I played it. It's going right. All things are going wrong. Like, I can't rate him even worse than other Chuddick games.
Although I did play a 3-player. I heard that 2-player is better, so maybe I should try playing it.
I played a 2-player.
But 3 and 4 gives you like the political stuff because you start having to squash whomever's leading, and so you're like trying to get other people on your side to like crush someone.
So Marguerite, what's your position on the expansions for it? Okay.
So with the original rules in the first expansion, they were really bad. You shuffled the new expansion cards into the regular decks, but they had different color backs. So the draw rules weren't different, but you could see when the like crazy new cards were coming, so you could just draw through to find them. then with the second expansion, they improved it. I haven't even played the third one. I own it. Expansions, like, I love that base game, so I just don't need more cards with it.
Oh, I had no idea there was even expansions.
Oh, well, they did a third edition, too. The third edition is the one to play. If anyone's out there that wants to play some innovation, they fixed 2 cards, like, settled up the graphic design a little bit. It was much, much better.
Nice.
Is compared to, like, the yellow version that has kind of a more artistic flair?
I do think that version is not my aesthetic because I thought it was pretty ugly, but it's people and scenes. The original game is like super dry, abstract, kind of cool thing. For me, it's like right up my alley. So.
Nicole, what is your favorite game that you never get to play?
Mine would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I have played it 2 times. I got it in a math trade, and I was super stoked because I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show. And I think, like, despite it being basically a roll and move, it's super fun to play if you're a fan of the show. It's quite well done, but it just... I think you need the right group of people, and I don't get that group of people together very often.
But it's a roll and move with Buffy, so like roll
I
and
know.
move, but with Buffy.
Yeah, but it's an awkward season of Buffy. It wasn't like
how much Cyclades is, and I went up there and I was like, "How much for this one?" And he was like, "I don't know, 15, 20." And I was like, "Okay." And I sold. Sold. I was like, okay, thanks, bye. Like, threw a 20 at him and then left. No, and I took a picture of it and tweeted it whenever I got home and was like, got Cyclades for $20. And I think it was my most popular tweet ever. Like, I think it had like so many favorites and retweets. So apparently, I'm just assuming other people also love Cyclades. So I have actually not gotten to play it, even though I have taken it out. I know how to play it. I had someone else also teach me how to play it, and I have like gone back and done refreshers. I'll take it out and like get it ready, and then we play something else. So that's my favorite game that I've actually never even gotten to play that I just would really love to play. I don't know. What about you, Sarah?
Well,
sir, mine is Cyclades. I bought this game at a Dent and Scratch sale. Like, the box looks fine. Like, I don't even know what's wrong with it. Like, someone sneezed on it too hard, and they were like, we have to discount it. I don't know if they knew how much it was, because I went up there, so it's all these games on this table, and you just take them up and get them price checked, basically. And I know about how much Cyclades is, and I went up there, and I was like, how much for this one? And he was like, I don't know, 15, 20... And I was like, okay. Sold. Sold. I was like, okay, thanks, bye. Like, threw a 20 at him and then left. No, and I took a picture of it and tweeted it whenever I got home and was like, got Cyclades for $20. And I think it was my most popular tweet ever. Like, I think it had like so many favorites and retweets. So apparently, I'm just assuming other people also love Cyclades. So I have actually not gotten to play it, even though I have taken it out. I know how to play it. I had someone else also teach me how to play it, and I have like gone back and done refreshers. I'll take it out and like get it ready, and then we play something else. So that's my favorite game that I've actually never even gotten to play that I just would really love to play. I don't know. What about you, Sarah?
Well, I want to, first on the Cyclades, so Cyclades is on my list of things to try, but you know, that whole, like, it's weird because I haven't played Cyclades, but I played a lot of Kemet, and I love Kemet, and for some reason, those 2 games always get paired, like,
that kind of puzzles
you asked, right?
Yeah.
You know, you love Kemet, have you played Cyclades? I'm like, no, and then everybody looks really disappointed in me, and I feel bad, but so I'm really curious to try Cyclades just so I can understand why they're always linked that way. Like, they even have that expansion, right, that links Cyclades and Kemet together that lets you play the monsters in the opposing games. So
Yeah.
I would never link them if they weren't both Madagascar. I'm dead serious. If they weren't both like those impeccable minis and all that stuff, you would never ever put those two in the same boat.
So see, that's kind of my impression from a distance. It's like they're not actually that similar, other than they're kind of dudes on a map fighting games, but with like a mythological history theme to it. So, Stephanie, play it and report back. Come on, girl.
Maybe never. I don't know.
Come to Seattle. I will play Cyclades with you right now.
Okay, we'll do that. We have a show to do though, so maybe after the show.
That's probably best.
Okay, let's move on to some games that we have gotten to play. But chat, feel free to tell us more of the games that are your favorites that you haven't gotten to play or you don't get to play a lot of. What about our favorite? Let's just get right to the party. Our favorite party and social games. Nicole, what is your favorite party/social game?
My favorite in that category has to be Anomia. Like,
love Anomia. Good choice.
God knows. So
a much better setup for that would have been like, my favorite game is, I can't remember the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh my God, did you read Marguerite's line? Oh, that's my like to drink.
Yeah.
She just steal my game. I swear, like my poor little brain.
Concept is my favorite party social game. And let me tell you why, friends.
Okay.
What I like in a party/social game is how easy it is to bring non-gamers in to play it. And that's super important for me. So I had an experience just this week at work, actually, where I brought a bunch of board games in, and I was like, hey, let's on a lunch break, like, all hang out in a meeting room and play some board games. And Concept was one of those, and it kind of blew everybody's minds. It was like, oh my God, this is like sort of like Pictionary meets charades somewhere in the middle, like, and it was really awesome to see the response from non-gamers. So for me, like, I love playing that with gamers, but it's a huge one for me to get non-gamers in a social setting to play.
Yeah, so when you play, do you really play with like the points? Or do
Never.
you kind of just, that's kind of how we
I've
play.
never.
I mean, we'll kind of, it's like light bulbs or whatever, so we'll kind of give them out every once in a while, partly because my friend Jenna is amazing, and I just want to see how many light bulbs she'll get, because she is so good at giving clues and so good at guessing them. She gets, like, all of them. So that's kind of the only reason that we do, but, like, we don't care. Like, we're just like, whoever wins, whoever doesn't, it doesn't matter. We all win.
Yeah.
We try and give props for the hardest clue guessed in the coolest way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, because everyone goes for some, like, fun, weird, like, you can always assign as a meta group, like, certain things mean certain other things. But when people really go off the wall and get, like, a creative answer out of people, that's when we're like, okay, you totally just won this game.
Yeah. Because some of those, like, third tier questions are super abstract. Like the other day, there was one Twitter, like, how could you even? So yeah, that's kind of favorite. What about you, Suze?
Suze used to do Concept on Twitter. Before you answer,
yes,
that was really cool. You should
used
talk about that.
Twitcept.
Used to. I mean, maybe you still do.
Twitcept. Well, there's Emojicept and there's Twitcept, and I love both of them. And so I'm going to do more of them for more Gen Can't action, but it's so much fun to, like, come up with different puzzles. And I found, like, making sure that you kind of had a consistent category when you're playing with, like, a bunch of strangers online who, are jumping in and out helps. But I love Concept, and I totally agree with Nicole. It's so great for just non-gamers. It's easy for them to grasp, and it's puzzly. But yeah, who keeps scoring that game? I like Marguerite. I like your idea of, like, rewarding creativity or cleverness or difficulty. So I'm going to try that next time I play. I also have the massive. Have you guys seen the massive Concept neoprene board? Like this, it's a game mat, but or it's just a Concept board, but it's made out of, like, I could wrap it around and go diving.
You could wear it.
Like, I could wear it as kind of a deep sea toga of Concept. It's huge.
If ever I could Photoshop something, it would be right now.
And but it's amazing. It's this huge board, and the only challenge is that it didn't come with huge pieces. So you're still
Oh.
using little pieces, and it's like so sad.
Those little cubes, like beep.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I think I see that. But it's actually a really cool idea if you're going to play concept, because you can play with a lot of people, right? So if you're a hardcore concept fan, get the playmat, right? Okay.
Is that made by the publisher?
Yeah, it's totally legit. It's fully licensed officially.
And it's
I have
super
a-
cheap. It's easy to find and cheap.
Oh, I have a friend who like scaled it up and printed it out and put it on like a magnetized background, so you could like put magnet pieces on it.
Oh, that's clever. I like that. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I want to magnetize so many of my games.
Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you're,
There goes where Earth Magnet's going.
you're just gonna
I
have to
know.
become a mutant.
'Cause I know
Stephanie
how
needs to be an
magnets
X-Man, and then she can like magic her games.
I actually think it's a cool idea. I support you, Stephanie. I'm not teasing you. I am humorously supporting that idea. You should do it.
Awesome.
But you can't magnetize my game, my
Okay.
party game,
Okay, I won't.
because I like code names. It's too many magnets.
Ooh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that could be cool. The cards could fit perfectly over the other cards. Can you imagine that even? Can you imagine that even? Can you imagine that even?
Stephanie, you and I play games together. Are you one of those?
No,
Are you one
not
of
as
those
much
people?
because I'm like too focused on fun. But if I have enough time to just sit there and, because Codenames is too like, okay, go, 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 go. And you're in trouble for touching the cards a lot. And I feel bad for saying, okay, I'm just going to straighten these cards for a minute. So I'm a little bit one of those. I would prefer if they all like fit into things. Things fitting into things is like the best Twitter feed. So yeah, I would prefer if they were all like Scoville peppers and fit into little recessed wells. Like that would be
Ooh.
amazing. Are we Tasty Minstrel Gamesing it again? By the way,
No.
Not yet. Wait till my pick comes up. 'Cause someone stole my pick.
but yeah,
Spoiler alert.
but yeah. So Codenames, Suze.
Yeah, it's a good game. Everybody knows it, and I feel like I sometimes get accused of being cult of the new, but Codenames is just really solid, and it's similar. I mean, I think when we look at party games, right? Because all of us are pretty deep into the hobby, so to speak. So I don't know if any of us naturally usually gravitate towards party games as like our first pick for a game night. So usually in party games, I'm looking for something that's really accessible and engaging and fun, but still engaging for newbies and engaging for me as a more experienced gamer. And I think Codenames really fits that bill, and I'm so glad it's so successful. So it's cult of the new, but I think it's a legit long, like it's going to be a staple, right? Like with Wits and Wagers and concept and stuff like that.
Well, someone in chat mentioned Codenames with Dixit cards. There's actually Codenames pictures coming out, which is really well done. I got to play a prototype back in April, and the art is just like really clean line drawings, and they're like so strange. Some of them are really surreal, and I had a lot of fun. I found like Dixit cards can be very complicated.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on that porcupine skeleton cat. You guys know what I'm talking about.
So I think the art that they've the direction they've gone with the art for Codenames pictures is going to work out really well, and I'm super excited. I think they're going to have it for release at Gen Con.
I was going to say, I think that's a Gen Con release. So
yeah.
Which it'll probably sell out just as quickly as Codenames did.
Yeah.
And it solves the issue. So I've played Codenames. Well, Marguerite set up this amazing game of Codenames using board games. Oh my gosh, we were at a local convention.
I remember that, yeah.
And Marguerite's out there pulling, and yes, Mega Civ was one of the games on the table, like right in the center of this grid of 25 game boxes. There's like Mega Civ.
I was legit walking up to people's tables and asking the box away.
Can I have the box, please? And we set up we had to push buffet tables together to create this grid of 25 games, and it was amazing. So that's a great way to play, especially with gamers, obviously. But I've played it with Dixit as well, and it was hugely entertaining. But what I think Codenames pictures will solve that we had a little back and forth with when we played it with Dixit cards is the color issue, right? Because from what I've seen, Codenames Pictures is all black and white or grayscale.
Yeah.
And with Dixit, you've got all those colors and stuff. And so there's like a little bit of debate about like, what can we use colors or can we not do color? And so Dixit Codenames Pictures solves that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I still think
I
there's
want it now.
a place for regular code names, and I still want to play regular code names, but
Oh, yeah.
I will get Codenames Pictures too, probably. Like, why wouldn't I?
I'm just going to throw it all in one box, right? Why not?
Yeah, maybe.
I think we're all gonna get Codename Pictures. I've had the most fun creating new rules out of the clue giving though. Like my favorite way of playing is with proper nouns only.
Whoa.
So like it's only names or things or brands or that type of stuff.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so much fun.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it's just enough where like us gamers are just like completely immersed in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's my favorite variant.
That's
I like
awesome. Wow.
I liked the board game variant. That one was really good. Where you can only use board game names as clues.
Ooh.
That's hard.
I like that we did it with G-Con because it seemed appropriate. But it was a good group. It was like me and gosh, I can't even remember now. But it was people that
wasn't it? Yeah.
Bebo and Isaac Vega, I think, was around, and a couple other people. Just it was a fun time, and that was you can't do that every day. You know, like you can't communicate that way with just anyone. So it was really special and cool.
Yeah.
All right, Marguerite. Now tell us about your game.
I don't know.
So,
I might have forgotten.
Nicholas. No. I can't talk about my pick because Anomia was spoiled already.
But it's so good and it deserves attention.
So what I'll say about Anomia is that it's great. There's a better version called Duple, which is a horrible name for a game.
Ooh, I don't like Duple.
Ooh,
Disagree.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, no one likes Duple. I love Duple.
I always say that. No one likes a duple.
Nice.
Go
nice
with
work.
Duple.
But Anomia is great. It's sold only through usually like stores that do toys or games, like little kid stuff. So like me as a buyer for a retail store, it's kind of a pain in my butt to get
Yeah.
from Canada. God knows away. But
Come on.
but I was gonna say my second pick would have been Ponzi Scheme, hands down.
It is TMG night.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Just you
TMG
wait.
night.
We're gonna get to the
TMG
TMG titles.
Like, hold on.
Ponzi Scheme is like
let's just see.
effing amazing.
I don't know if we
I've-
have any other TMG titles up here. I don't see any.
I don't think so.
That's
Not
it.
in that
That's it.
thing, but I'm sure they'll get mentioned.
That's it.
Yeah.
Cut off.
And we're
All right.
Oh, Steph, wait. Steph needs her party game pick.
Yeah, come on.
So, listen, I know it's old now, and I know that there are other deduction games that have come out that are amazing, but I freaking have a love affair with the Resistance Avalon until I die. I don't know why. It's not... I think it's because it took me years to even win one game. After game after game after game, being on the good side, being on the bad side. Most of you know I'm a terrible liar. Terrible. Cannot bluff. I can only do well in bluffing and deduction games usually if I'm telling the truth and I'm figuring out that someone else is bluffing. So, yeah, so the Resistance Avalon, I played so many times and finally won, and I still don't win a whole lot, but I don't know, I bring it to all the conventions and I've got to play it, and it's ridiculous. There are other social deduction games that are better because they have a little bit more basis to them rather than just, well, I think you're guilty because you look guilty. I mean, that's really like the foundation of the game. But I don't know, there's something about just going in and going, yep, it's you're the bad one. Like, there's something about that with no foundation, no reason, whatever. There's something about that I just love.
I'm calling shenanigans that your choice was not Mafia de Cuba.
I almost did it! It was almost Mafia de Cuba. You know what?
Shenanigans.
It's probably because I only put games on here that I have that are complete, that I have all the components for. Because my Mafia de Cuba game at BGG this is live, Maggie. So Yeah, my Monster Day
Her larcenous background.
We played at like 2 a.m. at BGG, and Mags stole 2 diamonds and was permanent thief. It was the last thing we played, so we all kind of just cleaned up really quickly. And I got home, and Mags like sends me this picture, like a ransom note, kind of, and she's like, "I have your diamonds." Like, sends me a picture of 2 of my diamonds, and then I even saw her. I think I've seen her like at least once since then, maybe twice. Yeah, I've seen her twice since then, and I still haven't gotten them. But it's like whatever at this point. The game has 13 diamonds in it forever. I think you should turn them into earrings and wear them for life. That would be great.
No, I was keeping them like a jewel thief. I was keeping them in a gum box, like those pop-out gums. I was keeping them in one of those, and Brian actually threw it away. I am more than convinced. Not realizing that my random gum wrapper was not like something I wanted to keep.
Look.
So now I have to like go and source those types of gems somewhere and try and find them.
No,
well,
Daryl.
I mean, it was really good knowing you guys.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that.
I said we just blame Brian.
The friendship is tenuous. Yeah, Brian's not here. It's Brian's fault.
Yeah.
There we go. Problem solved.
Before we move on to our next game, for those of you just joining us, Games on the
Hi.
Rocks, we've all got a beverage. You can have one with us if you'd like, but you do not have to. Our signature cocktail of the evening is the Steffenfeld. I'll show that up again. It is 3 parts Prosecco, or your choice of bubbly champagne goodness, 1 part essence of elderflower liqueur, which is a German thing, so that's where the Steffenfeld. We've got the German tie in there. A lemon squeeze, ice cubes, and some fresh mint for the point salad. I don't know if you can see that in there.
Wait.
That's my point salad.
Hey, bye to Erwin. Bye, Erwin. Okay, sorry. Point salad, go.
You're good. Okay, so that's what I'm drinking tonight, and it is delicious. It is actually really good. I really like it. Let's do since Suze is on our show. Suze is like the digital app goddess of games.
Yes.
And
that's right.
Let's do our favorite digital game or app. This is not necessarily video game like PC console. This is more like board games in the digital space. So Suze, start with yours.
I hate this question. I think whoever created this list is a terrible person. I mean, this is asking me to pick, my favorite pie, or
rhubarb.
That's or my favorite fried potato product. It's too hard.
Fries. I just
fries probably win
for
though.
Yeah, but waffle fries, spiral cut fries, batter dipped fries, truffle fries.
It depends if you're sick or happy or sad or whatever. Fries have a personality all their own.
See,
Suzanne,
this is very true.
Just answer the damn question. What is your favorite game?
Well, I think I have to if based on plays alone, it's got to be the Star Realms app, because I've played probably close to 2,000 online games of Star Realms using the app. So if quantity counts, then it's Star Realms. But I think we're really lucky right now. Like 2000 and what year is it? 16? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's confusing. 2016's been an awesome year for board game apps. 2015 sucked butt, but 2016's been great. Like we've gotten so many good things. So like Pathfinder Adventure and so anyway, so I'll go with Star Realms because you can play it on everything. You can play against everyone. It does all the math for you.
You can play it on a box. You can play it in a box.
I may have
Could
done
play it
Don't
on
judge me.
box, but
Don't judge me. This was a hard question for me. So was it easier?
don't play Suze because she will kick your butt.
Oh, I won't.
No, I'm on such a
refuse.
massive losing streak.
I refuse.
I'm losing.
Whatever.
Come on, Nicole, bring it on, girl.
Well,
Because I'm losing right now.
that's even worse because I don't want to then play you and then your losing streak be over because you beat me. That's like
We'll be
even
helping.
worse.
We'll be helping.
It's like
fine,
charity
fine.
work, Stephanie. It's like charity work. All right, Nicole,
Yeah.
come on. You play a lot of apps, and you've written some app reviews and stuff like that. I've seen it, so bring it on.
Yeah. So
And then
my,
let me judge your choice.
you are not going to judge this, girl. I know that you love this one. It is the very recently released for Android, Kindle Fire, and iOS, Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Such a good app. So good quality. Like, the art has really translated
Cheers
well.
to that.
Cheers. Boom. It is super good. Like, I have Suburbia, and I've played it a bit, but I find Castles way more interesting to play. The campaign levels for it really drag you in and keep you wanting to go level to level. And I think the quality of it is super. They really did a good job with it. And I've played it a lot recently. So and even having played it that much, I am still down with it. So that's definitely my favorite. I don't know if any of y'all have tried it other than Sue's, but it's awesome.
Joe's asking for everybody's Star Realms handle.
Joe knows my Star Realms handle because he's been driving my it's a trap. It's a trap. Don't tell him.
Mine is
It's a trap.
at insert straw here. Shocker. That's mine.
I'm pretty sure I'm just Nicole on there, but I don't think
You're just Nicole.
You can't be.
Yeah.
You
Like,
have to
it's
be
at
I Heart-
Nicole.
You have to be I Heart Museums on everything always, forever.
I Heart
Make a
Museums
new
was
one.
too long.
Too
It was
long.
too long.
Make a new one. I don't.
So yeah, but I haven't installed it on my new phone, so it's been a while. But maybe I'll play a little bit on vacation. We'll see.
Joe is thirsty.
You guys-
Look at him in the chat. Like, everyone else handles.
I can't. It's hard to read. You guys, my drink is making me warm. I'm getting really warm.
Getting the
Alright.
Oh, is my fan bothering you guys? Should I turn this off? It's just
yeah,
really
it's
warm.
too cold. It's too cold. Turn your fan off.
Girl, it's like I don't know what it is in. Hang on, 20 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. It's 68 right now in Toronto. So
No. It's closer to like 25 here. Like,
what?
yeah.
Wow.
No, we're in a heat wave.
No, it's like 75. What are you talking about?
She's
In
doing-
Ballard?
She's doing. Are you doing
Yeah, 70
Celsius?
Yes, 25 in Celsius,
Oh.
77
That's
Fahrenheit.
different.
Canada
I am
temperatures.
correct. And that is the degrees inside my head.
And how to use the metric system. FYI.
I did. I learned and I said the things and then Sue's down
I
to
knew.
me.
I knew.
Third grade. Oh my goodness.
It's going to get up to 28 this weekend.
Nicole, as Toronto heats up and is super hot, what are you going to be doing inside on your iPad? What are you going to be playing? What game?
Me?
Yeah.
Bring it back stuff.
I don't have an iPad. I'm Android all the way.
What are you going to be playing on your portable electronic?
I'm definitely gonna be playing Castles of Mad King Ludwig. It's good. I'm gonna be playing it offline on my flight back home to Australia because I don't need an internet connection. So
Yes, apps where you can have an offline play by yourself. Woo!
yeah,
Praise.
love it.
Love it. Praise hands,
So
emojis.
what about Mags? Do you have a fave app on your device?
So we were answering this this question kind of on the fly. So the first thing I said was Star Realms because I think it's the most fun I've had online. I'm really bad at it. I'm like level 5 perpetually. Like that's just where I live.
Me
I'm
too.
level 5.
That's a good place. That's a
Oh,
good place.
you're level 5. We should play together. That's okay.
Level 5.
I think I beat Sue's once. I beat our friend Josh Burgle like maybe once or twice. But if you're consistently level 5, maybe level 6, I'm okay. I'm Maggie Bot on there. Surprise to everyone, I'm sure. But I guess after that, and not including like the stupid like Diner Dash type stuff that I really love, I do. I love that crap.
I am judging you.
What else? I don't care. I like the Patchwork app. I had a lot of fun
Yes.
with it.
Ooh,
I
haven't
think
played it yet.
a lot of the features were not super usable. Like it was hard to find the games and get the games, and find the people, but once you're inside a game, the app worked beautifully.
Yeah.
Everything like made sense and was perfect.
Have you played against the AI, or you only try to play online against friends, Matt?
I did, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because I thought
It wasn't-
the AI did okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good choice. That was. Have you played from the same developer? Have you played the Le Havre Inland Port app?
I have.
No, because I didn't like I didn't like the cardboard version.
Oh,
So I didn't try it.
Sometimes
Okay.
you might like the digital version better, but if you
It's
just-
true.
Yeah, but if you just didn't like the choices and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes the app adds a simplicity that makes those games okay, especially if it is really quick.
That's
but it
Star
speeds
Realms
it up.
for
It
me.
removes fiddliness. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Star Realms
Ascension,
was not my favorite thing until I played the app version, and I was playing against Twitter friends. I was kind of talking smack, and it was just fun and social and wonderful. But I didn't really have to shuffle the cards or do that. Oh my god, whatever that's called with their victory, like the health in that game, the cards that you have to use. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I always
it's
flip it the wrong way, and it's just
I
the
just
app is
use
just way
dice
easier.
instead. Yeah.
It's the same thing for Ascension. I don't plan on ever
No.
physically touching Ascension cards ever.
I have never.
I have. I saw someone playing it at Game Goblins the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, that's an antique. What's that? Be careful with that. Did you
Oh my
get
goodness.
insurance on that? What are you doing?" No, I'm just kidding.
I think a lot of those games are just they're managed so much easier as an app, right?
I mean, there's probably
So-
something about the feel of it and doing all that stuff and building your deck, and that all feels really nice, but not for this girl. Also for fiddliness.
All right,
and
so
keeping
then
track
Steph-
of bits. Yeah. My favorite is Lords of Waterdeep. Love this game.
Yes.
I still love playing it, the actual board game version too, but it is so great because you can play against AI on trips and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I've just gotten so scary, shark good at this game. I will cut you in this game, in Lords of Waterdeep. It's scary. That's an open
Girl, but-
challenge, P.S. I am so good.
Damn.
I am good. No, there are people that have beat me. That's obviously that's not real. I am good, but no, I won't harm you in any way in this game if you play against me.
Stephanie, worker placement is kind of your jam, though. I mean,
it is.
you're basically terrifying at it. So
I just Rain Man it. I don't even know how. I just know.
you really do. I've seen it.
I have a spreadsheet in my head, and I know where to put those workers to be offensive for me and defensive against you, and just I will do it. I just do it. I don't know. I black out. I wake up and there are a bunch of VPs. There's VPs everywhere. There's spilled water. I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
Okay, so then, little Miss Worker Placement Savant. Then, what's a worker placement game that you found really uber challenging? Then, is there a worker placement game that you've played that I don't know if you enjoyed or just not enjoyed or whatever, but that you just found extra hard, where you didn't do the weird blackout thing?
I'm honestly. I'm really trying to think of one that I didn't do
You can't.
decent
It's just
in
that
or
good.
not. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of games that I do not do well in, for sure. But I've only played Orleans once, and I did pretty well at that. But I don't know. I mean, it could go so many. We played it kind of incorrectly, so I don't know. So that game could be just because the workers are random because you're pulling them from a bag, so you don't have as much control over where you're placing them. So it's kind of like a mini worker placement element because there's all this other stuff going on too. But maybe Orleans.
Okay.
Have you played? Oh, sorry, no. Have you played Florenza? That's the one.
Oh, I have not. But you were talking about that the other day with someone.
If you and I can ever get in the same city at the same time, we should try it.
Yeah, I mean, I never.
It's
go to
worker
Seattle.
placement, but it's weird.
I tell you,
Can I just take a quick time out? So we established a rule earlier in this little group chat of ours, and what we didn't establish, and this was maybe a mistake on all of our parts, is we didn't establish the punishment when somebody broke that rule. because I'd like to point out that Stephanie just brought up another TMG game. And Stephanie was like, no more TMG games. And Stephanie just worked on the TMG game.
Really a rule, though, Sue?
Yes, it was. It was official.
Pretty sure you said cut off, no more. Next
sorry.
we have to be more prepared.
I can't hear you over this Steffenfeld. So delicious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Tasty Minstrel will publish one of his games. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, that's
Okay, you know what?
Maybe every once in a while.
Tasty Minstrel. What have they not done? Okay, let's do your favorite game. A lot of us demo games. A lot, okay, because Sue's, I know that you teach a lot of people. You go up to the game store, Mox, and a couple of other places I know because you live kind of far from Mox. And you teach games, and Mags, I know you demo games a lot. Nicole, I know you demo games a lot because you always got these prototypes before everyone else. What is your favorite game to teach? I'll start with mine just because this was an obvious one. Warful Bonanza is my favorite game to teach. What? Crazy. Warful Bonanza is my favorite game to teach because it's quick and it's easy and it's small footprint and I've never had anyone hate it and everyone buys it because they love it.
You're an evangelist. You are
I spread the word of the bone for sure. My niece, bless her, my 13-year-old niece, she's about to be 14 on June 13th.
That was a weird segue.
She loves teaching Warful Bonanza. It's one of her favorite games.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I know. She wants to learn German because of Warful Bonanza.
that's so sweet.
Basically awesome.
Isn't it? She's like, I want to be able to read the rules. Like, she knows how to play, but she's like, I want to be able to read the rules and tell people and show them. Yeah. Good job, Warful Bonanza. Breaking down language barriers. Good job.
It is a cool game. Except, okay, can we just, like, anybody who's played Warful Bonanza, I don't understand. You have ivory-colored dice and beige-colored dice.
Oh, yeah.
Who made that decision? Come on.
It's like eggshell white and taupe. Okay, maybe.
Huge difference. You're right. I sit corrected.
Listen, if you get some paint from Lowe's.
No, that's what I'm doing. I legit after our last stream, I ordered Warful Bonanza, but my plan is to fucking paint those dice.
No way.
Do it.
Going rogue, painting up. Really, they should be like black and white, right? Like they should just be starkly contrasted. You know, it's an extra challenge. It's an extra challenge for you.
She's gonna customize them bones. Oh yeah, that's right.
Them bones. Hey.
I guess you could do those like little component dice that you can buy on like the BGG store. They're like the Ravenous dice.
Those.
Yeah.
But
make your own.
Those are good, but they're not as nice to roll over and over and over again, I think.
You don't get to see those cute little bean characters smiling up at you.
Yeah, I need to see that blue bean. He's my friend. Suzanne, what's your favorite game to teach?
So Marguerite will, because she loves me, she'll be nice about it, but if you ask her on the side when I'm not around, she'll totally tell you I am the worst. See, she's laughing because she knows it's true. I'm actually a terrible game teacher. I'm so awful. Unless I know the game like the back of my hand, I am the worstest ever. So
I feel you.
And I'm honest enough that I can admit that. So with all that in mind, I think Mysterium is my favorite game to teach. One, I know it like the back of my hand. Played it probably over 100 times at this point because, well, I got it at BGG Con a couple years ago, and I played it like 30 times at the con alone, and then every convention I go to, I end up teaching it a bunch and stuff like that. So I really get into it, right? You know, there are people who talk about Euros being dry or themeless, and to me, that's BS because any game has as much theme or spirit or story as you want to put into it, right?
Yeah.
So with Mysterium, I greet my players, you know, welcome.
You should,
and
I'm
I'm the
greeting them
ghost.
like,
I really want this experience.
Well, no, because maybe I do a little wooing, but not a lot. Just enough for atmosphere. Come on.
I am gonna teach
Right.
you mysterious.
Not even. Oh my gosh. No, it's like I get them all seated and I welcome them, and I basically take the role of the ghost from the moment we start, and I teach them as the ghost, kind of, if the ghost could actually talk English to them and not use cards, because I don't try to teach the anyway. So I really like Mysterium. It's a great game. I really enjoy teaching it. I think I'm decent at teaching it, so that helps. But
Suze,
that's it.
$100 if you will build cards that help you teach that game.
I can do that. $100.
$100. If you can teach Mysterium through handing cards to people alone.
Wow.
Challenge accepted.
Wow.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
That's some sort
While
of
wearing a sheet with the eyes cut out.
You and your antiquated view of ghosts, Nicole. All right, Nicole, bring it on. What's your favorite game to teach?
Wow. Much like yourself, I feel very uncomfortable about teaching games. I'm very good at playing, like I have fun playing games, but teaching games for me is quite a challenge. So I like to teach simpler games. And one of my favorites to teach is Deep Sea Adventure, a great little micro game from Oink Games, a Japanese publisher. And it just is like, you could tell a bit of a story. It's like, y'all are a ragtag bunch. Exactly. Y'all are a ragtag bunch of treasure hunters, and you need to hire a submarine together and share this like air supply, and you're trying to like struggle down to get some treasure together. And just by telling the story of it, you can teach the game to people. And I've introduced the game to a lot of folks, and they've had a lot of fun with it. I love the push your luck aspect of it, and I think that kind of it evens the playing ground for people. So it's definitely fun and quick to teach, which is something I like. Getting those rules out of the way and just getting in to play the game. So
It is so fun. Such a great game.
What about you, Maggie?
So mine switched a year or so ago. My favorite game to teach is Kanban from Vital Lacerda.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Going on the high end of the spectrum here.
Well, so my one previous to that was Terra Mystica, right? But when you can take a game like Kanban that is like assaulting your eyeballs, and you put it out on the table and people look scared. They look like very concerned with their evening. And you're like, wait, take my hand, let me take you on a journey, right? Like everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna play this game.
It's gonna be fine.
I can show you the cards.
That'll have to be for next time.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, you take them through every department, and you try and show them the turn order and how Sandra works. And yes, I played my first game of Nice Sandra recently, but before that I had only played Mean Sandra, so that's how I taught it. And you're like telling people that there's this punishment mechanic, but you're trying to make them not scared. It worked out really well in my favor.
I don't think you taught me Kanban. I kind of wish you had now.
I've never played it.
It's so fun to teach.
Tiffany Round.
If you were here, I would teach it again.
Tiffany Carson.
I really want to.
Literally, the only person I would never teach Kanban to, because I tried, was Paul Dean. And he was just done.
That's funny because he came by at BGG whenever Tiffany and Steve were teaching us, and he came by, and all he did was like a human cat and just knocked my cards off like over and over again. He would just come by and he was like, whoop. Obviously did not know how to play the game.
He's literally the worst.
Not the best, but the worst, but the best.
He sat down with me like a month after BGG-Con and told me he got through like 3 rounds and his brain hurt and he didn't like it. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? We're trying to like go through some of the rules, and the whole time he's just like, no, this is the worst thing. No, I'm not doing this.
He made it through the gallerist. I mean, come on.
That's amazing.
But can we all Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, you. No, you. No, you.
Oh, you.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, can we all agree that, like, the worst thing you can do when somebody's teaching a game is try to help them teach?
Oh.
You see? Right?
I have a trouble with this if it's a game I know super well. It's the same with anyone. But there's nothing worse than when you're trying to teach a game that you don't know super well and someone else is trying to help you.
Yeah.
It throws off your flow.
Throws off your
It's like, yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, I teach games a certain way, and I try to be really patient. Sometimes it's a little. I don't know that I've ever had a really, really bad like teaching moment where I was just like, okay, these people aren't paying attention. This sucks. But I have had someone like ask for the rule book in the middle, and I'm kind of like, okay, you can look up whatever, like that's fine. But if you would just pay attention to whatever I'm saying and then look it up, that'd be great. What else? What about our favorite? We kind of talked about a lot of these. What about our favorite, favorite game to bring out, like to a bar, to a cafe, to a restaurant, or maybe you're just gonna go hang out with some friends outside of the park. What's a good game to bring for that? What about you, Suze? Why don't you tell us yours? Your favorite bar, cafe?
No, thanks.
No, but if you would please tell us, that would be great.
See what I did there? Yeah, no thanks is the best bar game, clearly, because it doesn't take a lot of space, and it's quick and easy, and it plays a decent number of people, and you can be totally drunk while playing it and still have fun. Not that I would ever do that.
But
not that you would do well,
yeah.
but you would still have
That's what
so
I
much
was
fun.
gonna say. Can you still do well? You might be able to, because you might be able. I got this. Like, totally press your luck. 'Cause you're like, that's fine. I got it.
No Thanks is one of those games that I'm always shocked when somebody says I don't like it, because it's so accessible and relatable and quick and easy, and it's something I kind of try to keep on me at all times, because you can play it with gamers, you can play it with non-gamers, it's quick, blah blah blah. And I've met a couple people, and see, I disengaged with them as soon as they said they didn't like it, so I can't even remember who these people are. But I've met these people who have said they don't like No Thanks. I'm like, I don't understand the words in your mouth right now, so I have to do this. So, but yeah, so no Thanks is definitely my kind of grab and go, keep it on me in a bar kind of thing.
I have taught that to, again, like concept friends who are not gamers. The last time I talked to a group of people who just were not gamers at all, we ended up playing No Thanks for probably 2 hours. 2 hours.
There had to be adult beverages involved in that.
Yeah, well, there were, but it was just like, it was such a hit. We would hit the end of the game, and they'd be like, again, let's do this again.
Wow.
So it just like, I think is like this like little taste of gambling in it without the like terrible risk. That is a real draw. It really is. Like,
I think it's a good point. All right. Well, Steph, what's yours? What are you? Oh wait, you're typing.
No, I keep
Can you
I'm
multitask?
a super professional and really good producer, in that I keep typing on this computer to type on this computer. Anyway, my favorite game to bring to a bar or cafe is cockroach poker, because it's super easy to teach, and oftentimes people will kind of walk by and they're like, what game are you playing? Because it's just cards, and you usually are laughing a lot or going, you're lying, or there's usually some table talk going on, so people are always kind of wondering what you're doing, but you don't have to say a lot. So even if it's loud and stuff like that, you can just, you can kind of say this is a rat or whatever, and then you don't have to, necessarily talk a whole lot. So I like bringing that one out, and it's just a lot of fun, and I'm trash at it, but it's still a lot of fun, and I always want to play it.
this is a rat, Stephanie.
Yeah, I would probably believe you. I'm really good at actually, usually, like, if I can call it, I'm usually pretty good at it. But there was this one moment at Extra Life 2 years ago, I guess 2.5 years ago, where Maggie taught us this game for the first time, I think? Maybe? Right? Do you know?
I'm fairly certain.
Yeah. And
She's
ended...
poker evangelist.
It was brutal. It ended very brutally because I handed Suze handed me a card, and I called her incorrectly on it. So she did it again. And then I called her incorrectly on it again. So she did it again. Yeah, you're right. Again. Yep, you guessed it. She did it again.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I got rid of my entire hand, like, just by me incorrectly guessing and having to hand one back to Suze, and then her guessing it correctly every time. It was terrible.
Man.
Terrible.
Well, Marguerite's a great cockroach poker evangelist, and I'm with you. So it's so much fun. What a great game. But I don't refuse to play with Marguerite, but I strategically select when to engage with her in the game, because you may be a savant at worker placement games, Steph, but Marguerite is scary good at cockroach poker. It's terrifying.
Well, are
So,
you playing
what I'm
with
good
her
at- I'm good
cards? They could be more. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
They actually just scratched out on the back.
She has it like literally written on there on the back, like this is a rat. We're all just idiots and haven't seen it.
I might be right back. I want to go Sharpie all of my cockroaches. So cockroach poker, I'm good at reading people. I'm not good at bluffing. So all I have to do is either further someone's bluff or call everyone that comes to me. And you figure out really quick in the early game that you should probably not just call everything that's coming to you.
Yeah.
People get mad.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Nicole, bring it,
yeah,
girl.
I think Nicole.
Well, I mean, mine is a little bit of a repeat.
Oh no.
Even though I already
I saw what it
mentioned it. Yeah, mine is Anomia. Simply
Tell us about that
like,
game. What's that game like?
So, like cockroach poker, like No Thanks, it has a very small footprint. So it's very good to bring out to a bar. And I've played this with work friends at drinks after work and stuff. And it's so quick. You can put it aside if, a meal comes. If it's a bar, like, people don't mind that you're being a bit, like, shouty. So, I mean, I've played this where I've gotten, like, super sweary, like, to the point where I'm like, fucking zebra.
Anomia to me is like the equivalent of like Twitch gaming, right? Because it's just like streams of obscenities at some point. I think that game is coated in a special like chemical that makes you super derpy. Yeah, you're super derpy. You can't even form words. It could be like, I remember this one time, it was like, name a cheese. I love cheese. Cheese is like around me all of the time.
Yes.
And
We know this.
That's the point where you just shout cheese
I know.
really loudly.
And then you can't think of a single cheese, and then all I can think of is the jazz player that I couldn't think of.
Yeah. This is why it's a brilliant game. I love it so much.
Louis Armstrong is the only thing in my head.
For cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do so often look at the card I'm supposed to like name something from that category and just shout the category.
You just basically
Like
read
spices. No, it's like cumin.
Yeah. Name a color. I mean, I'm supposed to do a thing.
But the best is when it starts to cascade, right? So you're struggling over cheese, and then they pull the card out, and then the next card is another one that you match, and you're just like and it goes on and on.
Someone else pulls out like some crazy ass cheese, like Asiago or something, and you're like, spell it, use it in a sentence, like you can't even.
Cheese is good. Let's get some Wensleydale on.
Such a good game. Now this, because originally there was just this like little box with the 2 decks in it. Now there's a Nomia Party, which has like 6 decks in it, I think.
I have that.
Yeah, it's great. So you can just, you can kind of pop one of them in a deck box and take it with you. But like, I think, it has a lot of replayability. I've even played through like the 2 decks in the box and gone through another time with like different people in my group at a bar, and it just works so well in that kind of adult social gathering, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you could play with kids too. You would just have to be like, just behave.
Oh, yeah, sure. But it's
All right,
way
Marguerite.
more fun at a bar.
Yeah.
What's your bar game?
What's that, me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I every Thursday night we do our regular game night, and so like we do like a medium to heavyweight Euro, maybe one light something, and then we go to a bar and we play bar games. So like literally every week I play bar games. And so before I answer my answer, I wanted to ask you guys a poll, and I was going to poll the chat as well. Have you ever played Mogul? Mogul, Mogul?
M-O-D-U-L, Modal?
G.
I've had most of a drink, so can you spell slower?
Global, like global
Mogul.
Or just regular Mogul?
Not Global Mogul, which
like-
is amazing, by the way.
I know.
With the guy with
Everyone.
the hat and the bowl?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you played that?
Yeah.
So what do you think of that? Because it's like very no thanks-esque.
Really? I've never heard of it.
Right? So it's like, it's no thanks with a little board and this wooden bowl that comes with it. And the bowl makes this fabulous noise because you put the chits in it and it kind of goes bink. Yeah, no one in the chat has either. I don't know what's going on. This game came out of nowhere and it was out for a long time and it got a reprint last year and I was super excited and then no one played it. Not a single person.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you guys were talking about no thanks, and I'm like, oh, what about Mogul? Wait, no one's played Mogul.
No, sad.
But
It does
what-
have a nice bowl.
But what is your pick for bar cafe game?
Mine is traditional card game. So we usually play Oh Hell, which is like it's a spades type bidding trick taking game. The reason we default to Oh Hell so much is because it fits all of the player counts. You can be 6 players or 8 players and still play it. So if we were 4, we could play spades or bridge. But when we're like 6 players or whatever, we shuffle 2 decks together and play Oh Hell, which is a progressive bidding game. You start at 1 card with 1 trump and you bid on that. But you can't, as soon as it gets back to the dealer, you can't have a perfect number of bids. So if there's already 1 bid out and there's 1 card available, the dealer couldn't say 0. And it just forces you to have uneven bids in the round. And that is my favorite bar game.
I want you to teach it to me. I've never played Oh Hell. I'm a huge fan of classic card games. I love bridge. Have you played Pinochle?
I haven't in
love-
a really long time, but yeah.
I flippin' love Pinochle so much. And euchre and things like that. But Oh Hell I've never played. And I love spades and hearts. So I want you, will you teach me Oh Hell?
Yeah, no, we should do that. Susan and I have a game night coming up, so maybe we'll Oh Hell at the end of that.
Yes,
Well,
I like this plan.
Nicole and I are going to get together on
Yeah.
In Australia.
Yeah.
board game
Yeah.
Marina or something, and we're going to play a game.
And play
Okay, wait, I have a game night with Suze. I have a game with
Euchre.
Stephanie scheduled on the 12th. Now Nicole and I need a game scheduled.
yeah. Let's
Yes.
play.
Yeah.
Can we play Cacao on?
Yeah, the Yucatan or whatever.
Yucata.de.
Yeah.
I love Cacao. Let's do our favorite 2-player game. How about that? Suze.
I'm down.
Suze, what's your
You-
favorite 2-player game?
So this is a tough category because I love 2-player games because
It's a really easy category. One human, another human playing games. Maybe not like that. Maybe that was about it. Maybe that was about it. Maybe respectfully sitting on opposite ends of the table.
what are we doing here, sweetie? Okay. So I'm not. You know how they sometimes say? Have you heard the saying that like every gamer is an aspiring game designer? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
But yeah,
I've heard that.
We'll go with it.
I'm totally not making it up for the purposes of this discussion. And I am not, like, I have zero, like, I'm not a game designer. I'm always flummoxed at how game designers do what they do. So I'm going to talk out of my other places for a sec. But like when it comes to game design and the little I understand about it, I really like 2-player games because I think that player count limit lets the designer create a really balanced and engaging experience, because they're not trying to add like, okay, well, how does it play at 3? How does it play at 4? You know, what do you have to accommodate and stuff like that? They just let some hyper focus and create really great games. So I think 2-player games that are designed just for 2 players are some of my best gaming experiences. So that's why this is tough. Like Patchwork is amazing, and there's so many great. So I had a hard time. That was really long. I shouldn't drink while I talk. That was a really long-winded way of saying that picking my favorite 2-player game is tough, but I did. And it's Fields of Arle, or Fields of Arla, or Fields of Arle. Yeah, by Rosenberg, because it's amazing and epic, and it's huge, and there's like 40 boards, and there's all these wood bits, and there's dikes, and there's peat, and it's a sandbox of a Euro, and you have so many choices, but they all make sense, and there's seasons, and there's a dragon shadow over the road, and there's like the little Easter egg art bits that are so charming. And I just love it so much. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's really a lot to set up and break down. And I have a little insert, like I paid a lot of money for one of those fancy inserts for it because I love the game so much and I needed help. And it helped a lot, but it's still a lot. But if you can get over that, Fields of Arle is an amazing 2-player game.
I gotta try that. We have had a copy for a while, and it's still in shrink.
Oh, that's a crime.
Yeah,
sweetie, that's a crime.
Yeah, we got that and Glassword at the same time, and Glassword hit the table more. So we just
hit the table with that. You should set it down gently.
just very gently, very gently. But we gotta do that. And Le Havre, which I've never played, is on my list as well. So
Le Havre as like the big Le Havre or the Le Havre in Lamport?
Yeah,
is it 2-player game? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, what's your favorite 2-player game?
Hands down. Well, not hands down. This was actually super hard for me to pick because there's so many good 2-player games. Like we have this whole part here on our shelf that's just all 2-player games. So there's a lot of good ones, but one that I really love going back to is Jaipur. It is really just eloquent. It's done by the same designer as Time Stories, which just is so strange.
No, they're the same. Plays the same.
Yeah,
for sure.
Totally the same. Time camels. So it's a trading game that's played over 3 rounds, and just it's so eloquent and pleasant to play. I don't feel like there's a lot of direct conflict. Like you can try and get in before somebody else, but there's not a lot of take that in it. So I find as just a 2-player experience, not as aggressive as some others can be. And the art is cute. There's secret little pandas tucked up in some camel saddles, which I really love. So that would be my pick for sure. I don't know. What about Stephanie? What's your pick?
Ooh, my favorite 2-player game is Akrotiri. It is what I consider
excellent choice.
A European strategy game made for 2 people and for only 2 people, I guess, unless you have more than 1 copy and maybe you want to try doing something crazy like that. I love games that use mechanisms like perspective, and Akrotiri uses that. So you're on one side of the board and your opponent's on the other side of the board. So what you're seeing is a different north, south, east, west than the person on the other side of the board. And you're placing temples based on where different types of land are, which are on maps that you buy. Or you're excavating temples, sorry. And there's a little bit of pick up and deliver, and the economy is really cool because I like that you can, it's tiling too, which I also like. So you lay tiles and you get to place out resources, so you can kind of lock in resources and make them more expensive or I guess more in demand. So so that they're expensive for the economy to buy, so that you get more money. So I just like that there's so many different things that work together, and yeah, that's my favorite.
I love Akrotiri. That's
So
such
good.
a great choice. I played this epic game of it once at a convention, and we somehow managed to place the tiles so that you had, what's the word with the boats where you carry the boat over the land?
Portage.
Portage.
Yeah.
So we were idiots, and we were playing the game, and we set up the islands, like we were playing the tiles, so that we had to always portage to get back to the center island to like do the good things. It was a really long game that way, but it was all choices we made. Like we made bad or good choices depending on how you look at it. So I love that choice. That's a top 10 two-player game, Steph.
That's super, super good.
You
And
have
like
such
you
great
can't
taste.
you can't go wrong with a Canadian design game. I mean,
Yeah. Canada represent.
oh yes.
All right, Marguerite, what's your two-player?
Oh, so this took me like an hour to decide because I didn't want to say Fields of Arla, which is amazing, but I've literally played it once.
Oh.
Like, because two players are not where it's not what I do. I play Magic when I'm two players. So the obvious choice, and I know people are sick of hearing me talk about this, is Oddball Aeronauts. I don't know if you all have played it. I love Oddball Aeronauts. So it's a game that you play two-player, and you play against someone else, and it's all done in hand. So it's kind of like there's an old solitaire game called Airplane that you kind of like play all in hand. And it takes a certain amount of like, if you played a lot of trick taking or that type of game, it helps you kind of gauge where you're at with your powers and stuff. And it's something I learned to play over Skype because it's so like I play my deck, you play your deck, and you're trying to battle each other. It's so good. I just wish it had taken off a little bit better in the States. It did well on Kickstarter. It did well in the UK, and then in the United States, it just didn't go anywhere. No one talked about it.
I have it. I have both the different, because they did 2 rounds of it, and they're totally different, and they're really cool. And I actually really like the game, but nobody plays it with me. I just realized you mentioned it, and I thought, oh yeah, I love Oddball Aeronauts, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I've played it since I got this second edition, and I played it like once when I got the second edition to try the new decks, and then I haven't played it since. I wonder what that is.
I made Brian play it a little bit with me, my partner, just like when we were waiting in lines at restaurants or stuff. Like you don't need a table, so you could play it anywhere. So we like took it out on the town and would play it places. But other than Brian, I don't know anyone else that I've played it with.
I've never played it. I really don't know a lot about it.
It's these crazy guys. They're in the UK. They're nuts. I love them. Nigel
I know
and Lloyd.
you and Tiffany have talked about it a lot.
Well, so it's a pair of brothers. One does the art, one does the game design. And they have this really cool approach. Like, they're like, okay, we're going to do our game, but we're going to play it over Skype with people. And you can just join us with our hangouts. And I would just hop into a hangout and play random people that hung out too. And that's how I learned the game and gotten to love the game. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
All right, Steph, your turn.
I already said my favorite.
You did? Oh, I've had a drink, so I can't count.
Let's do. We've already mentioned one of these, but favorite small box game. A lot of the games we've mentioned are small box, like bar cafe games are usually smaller boxes. Two-player games tend to be the smaller footprint. My favorite small box game, Nicole mentioned Deep Sea Adventure earlier, which is by Oink Games. My favorite is Fake Artist Goes to New York, which is also by Oink Games. Yes, and that's kind of like a Pictionary, but also, again, I think like so many of my games have bluffing for deduction in them somehow, like all of the games that I picked, which is interesting. So you'll kind of take turns drawing a continuous line on a piece of paper, pass the paper around, and everyone except the fake artist knows what they are drawing. The fake artist is trying to guess what's being drawn. Everyone else is kind of trying to clue in that they know what the thing is, while also not giving it away. So kind of like Spyfall, but you're writing. So, but yeah, I really love that game. It's always fun. I love keeping all the papers, all the drawings, and then referring to them later. I use them in the game explanation, because some of them are like hot garbage. And then some of them I'm like, this is a good example, because some of them it's like, the word was freedom, and then everyone drew like an eagle, like the literal Statue of Liberty, like 3D figure with shading. It was like, okay, that was really obvious. And then some of them are less obvious, like when Velcro was the thing, and all of the items were crazy, and that person did not guess Velcro, so...
So this was baseball.
Is that a pig?
I don't know, is it?
Let me see. Here we go. Yeah, that's a pig. That's a pig. That's for sure a pig.
So yeah, so that's what I love about that game.
Yeah. Let me ask you how, Steph, let me ask you how you feel, or any of the lovely ladies. Let me ask you how you feel about the thing that I have been caught in. I certainly didn't instigate this in any way, shape, or form, because I'm not that kind of person ever.
Uh-oh.
But how do you feel about it, like when people, you get the little boards, and then like somebody writes, the person who is moderating the game puts all X's on all the boards instead of a word, or like I've seen it done too, where people like they write a different thing on every board, so it breaks the game.
Every once in a while, you gotta do that. You gotta just totally fuck with your friends every once in a while. We played a game of Spyfall at Origins, and Jeremiah Lee and I switched cards. I was the spy, and I had been the spy like a million times in a row. So we switched cards, so everybody knew the location, right? I knew the location. He, even though he was now the spy, knew the location. But everyone actually still thought that he was the spy, just because Jeremiah's, like, he's just kooky. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think you could totally do it every now and then. Like, it's your game. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, every now and then. Except
not every game. Yeah.
No, my partner decides to mess with us every game. So he's done the X on everything, and he's also done a different word on everything. I have to admit, the result of the different word on everybody's was pretty funny. So
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Good choice, Steph.
What about you, Marguerite?
Oh, are we on 2 players?
No, we are on
No, girl.
small box game.
Well, because my small box is also a 2-player game.
Yeah.
I had trouble with these categories. It's really hard to pick favorites. So my favorite small box game is called Limes. It was
Limes?
Limes. It says limes in English, like Limes.
Oh.
But so it was preceded by a Z-Man title called Cities, which is a 4-player game. And then the designer kind of took that design and refined it and made the scoring better and made the game better. And now it's called Limes, and it's 2-player. But it's this really cool game where one person shuffles their deck, the other one has it numbered, and you randomly bring out cards. Yeah, exactly, Nicholas, right? Aronson, okay. So you randomly bring out cards, and the other person brings out the exact same card, but then you can build your own little township and put your own little meeples on it, and you're getting points at the end of the game for how well you optimized your board. It's really cool, and it is only like one little deck of cards and some meeples.
I haven't played it. I own it, and I have like promo cards for it, and I really want to play it. You make it sound fun.
It is really fun.
You just gotta keep a list for like the nagging list.
And I don't know. I didn't think of it because it's not that small to me. But I didn't think of it. But I was gifted that game, and I've only got to play it once. But I love that game. I didn't know it was pronounced Limes though.
Limes. Okay. Wait. Do you guys want a story time for a minute?
Yeah,
Like,
story time.
yeah.
Always.
So, how I found out how to pronounce this game. I went to Essen in 2014. It was my first time, and it was scary, and there were lots of people. And for the most part, I had work to do. But in the one afternoon I scheduled off to wander around the trade show, I just wandered around and I saw some guy talking to some people with a game in front of him. And I wandered over and I was like, hey, could you tell me about this game? I know nothing about it. Like, literally, I told him I don't know anything about this game. And he's like, oh, sure. This is Limes. It's a 2-player game. I was like, oh, cool. Could you show me how to play it? So he goes through the whole demo. We get done. I purchase my copy. And then he stands up and I notice that on his side, like written down his shirt, Martine F. He's the designer. I'm like completely insulting this poor man. My poor little podunk self was just like, hi, tell me about your game, but like not respecting him or anything. It was
Nice.
sad.
That's such a Marguerite story.
Really,
I'm sure it's no big deal.
really
I'm
is.
sure there are a lot of people that are just like, I don't know what this is. Tell me about it.
yeah, but there's a certain expectation of at least knowing who people are, right? His name was on his shirt.
Well, can we talk about that for a minute, though? Because on one hand, I see the cleverness and the functionality of the name on the shirt thing. But on the other hand, like, is it weird to just, like, wear a shirt with your name on it? I don't know.
It's great branding. That's totally branding.
All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right.
Go for it, Nicole.
Yeah, so...
Me?
Yeah, you do yours.
No.
Mine is no thanks.
You have such good taste in games.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of dupes out here.
There is. And I mean, there's a lot of good small box games that I could have thrown on there. But it is something like Sue said, you can just have it in your bag and pull it out pretty much anywhere.
Put it in your
On a picnic
quiver.
blanket, at the bar, like on a train. It's
On a
just,
car.
it's
I think we
It's so
might be able
versatile.
to fit almost all of the games on this entire list. Some categories we haven't even said yet in a quiver. Mine is the
Ooh.
European strategy games. I think that we could put almost all of those.
That Buffy game is big.
Yeah.
It is pretty
I'll
big.
put that one. So is 60s.
Yeah. You put Fields of Arl in a quiver, girl.
Oh,
I'll don't
Oh,
put
you're
all
no
the fields
quiver.
in the quiver, not just Arl.
The one by her house.
Yeah.
Get all the peat moss in the quiver.
Suzanne, what's your small box game?
I don't know. I can't remember. What did I say?
It's 6 Nips, and I
Oh.
just played that one. Just
Yeah,
recently.
Bulls.
What? For the first
Oh.
time?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird, sweetie.
We should
I love
have
you.
a Meeples included / Games on the Rocks 6 Nimp night on Board Game Arena.
Well, I feel like I failed you as a friend and as a gamer.
Yeah.
That, oh my goodness. Yeah, so 6 Nimp.
I've been sitting here
is-
just waiting for you to teach it to me.
I'm so sorry. So 6 Nimb is another game that everybody should own. It's a deck of cards. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your quiver. Whatever you need to do so that you have it on hand when you need it, right? Because 6 Nimb is super simple. It's got 104 cards.
Yeah.
And
102?
you can play like up to 10 people with it. And so it's just super flexible. And as long as you can count, you can play the game. Which I struggle with sometimes, but only after I've had a drink, so it's okay.
We could see that.
But it's really great, and it's surprisingly strategic in managing your hand, because ultimately it's really a hand management game and choosing when you're going to put cards down, because you know when you're going to have to take cards, and cards are bad because it's golf scoring with bullheads, and that's awesome.
It's
So-
tough.
6
one.
Nimbt is a little deck of cards, and it should go in your pocket or your quiver, and you should have it with you always.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. So we have a couple more categories, but I think we're going to cut them, and we'll just talk about them later, maybe.
Maybe we should remind people about our fancy cocktail for this week?
Yeah, so let's just do a whole rundown deal. For those of you just joining us, sorry, we're about to end the show. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
We don't really have a time limit for the show because I think that we might have topics that we end up talking about for a long time, or we might just want to hang out for a really long time. But we will aim for at least 90 minutes. So definitely you can expect that, but we might go a little bit longer. The reason that we're doing this is we had talked about doing this for a long time. We are all friends, but we are also all friends with you guys, and we wanted to just find out a way that we could hang out and chat, because we often are like, what are we going to do tonight? Let's hang out. And the internet can make that so. So we started this website, Meeples included. MaggieBot was like integral in that. She did like the most work in that for sure, her and Brian. And it's a website and community talking about all things tabletop gaming via videos, reviews, news, blogs, all of that stuff. But with a mindfulness of inclusivity and diversity. So we've been putting out all kinds of content. You guys might have already seen it already, and Games on the Rocks is one of those. So expect us to be on every other Friday night, maybe more Fridays. We might push a Friday out, but we'll let you know the schedule. Yeah, who knows? We're on the rocks. We are going to do a signature cocktail each episode. Last week was the analysis paralysis, and this week is the Stefan Feld, which mine is almost gone now. The Stefan Feld. You can see the recipe right here. I think if I'm doing my thing right, that's the recipe up there. But yeah, definitely come check us out and hang out with us. We're going to try and be interactive with the chat, but you guys have just been talking to each other, and that's really great because you're super entertaining, and we really appreciate you for coming out. Yeah, that's really awesome. We are trying to work through technical things, so my mic is maybe loud, maybe not loud. I'm loud, so you can barely hear me. That for sure might be an issue.